Hey, good morning. This is Marlene from Building Zion, and outside today it's going to be rainy off and on all weekend, and we need to get our garden pulled up. And I thought I'd show you because I was talking about some things that I learned previously from gardening, and so I thought I would show you something else I just learned. So let me flip the camera around here. So I showed you these before. We've planted all of our sweet potatoes in bags here, not just because it's cute and fun, but because I read online that these vines, these sweet potato vines, are invasive. They will, if they're out on the ground, they will root, kind of like how strawberries do. They'll root into the ground and grow more sweet potatoes. So I was like, okay, we got them in bags, we're gonna be good. Well, one of the sweet potato vines found its way over here next to the sprinkler head, and I just dug this one up, but it's grown little sweet potatoes down into the clay. Yes, this is all clay. So I didn't think they would even grow in clay, but look at that. These little guys have grown into the clay. So I've got to pull, ooh, there we go. I've got to dig these up. So at least I know they'll grow well in clay. We could totally just plant them in the ground and they would grow. They're kind of thin, probably because of the clay won't let them grow very wide, or maybe they just need to be in longer. But so lesson learned, just because you've got them in bags doesn't mean they won't find their way out onto the ground to grow potatoes. Alright, so I'm harvesting up all of these sweet potato leaves here that we can then use as spinach or in salads. And there's some interesting things that I wanted to show you that I didn't quite expect. So again, some of those vines sent shoots down, and they've gone in between. This is just a plastic thing, plastic things that we put off the edge of the porch. Oh, there's a little froggy. There's all kinds of critters in between here, in between these bags. And then here's another one where the vine has gone down into the ground, so I'm going to have to pull up this plastic stuff and see what's under there. And then this was a surprise also. Let's see, some roots from the sweet potatoes have come out of the bags. So there's probably lots of sweet potatoes in here, but the roots are coming out. And so if they had gone down in between that plastic stuff too, we might have potatoes coming down under there. So some interesting things to think about there. Well, you have brilliant ideas, and then sometimes you realize they're not so brilliant. See, there's quite a few roots that have gone through. There's some over here too. So hopefully there's not actually sweet potatoes down under all of this, but I'm going to have to pull this up so that I can dig out any sweet potatoes, because that's all we need is for them to just keep growing under there and start spreading somewhere. And there were roots under most of this area, and you can see there were even a couple little sweet potatoes growing down there. This one, oh my gosh, look at the size of this root. And that's not even all of it. I had to kind of dig up some of the grass here to get at it, and there's still some down there. So I'm hoping we don't have problems with sweet potatoes popping up in the grass. That's what I don't want. Here's that vine, little potato on it. Just like stuck right at the base there. And I hope no one gets grossed out over my hands and nails. I just do not like wearing gloves. So it's amazing that my nails still grow long. Oh, they look so gross. So I'm starting to pull the potatoes out. And here, gotta show you that one. Look at that, baby. Woo! That one's big. These other ones are all right. But man, look at that one. So we're gonna pull out the rest of these and then I'll show you what we got. Look at that mess over there. All right. It's kind of like Christmas. Get each one of these buckets. Like a present you're unwrapping. What's inside? Oh, looks like there's several just little ones in here. Just a couple kind of little ones. So one thing when I was looking up how to do this online, they said just to put one plant in each bag. But I definitely feel if you put 2 and maybe even 3 in a bag, there would be more than enough room for them all to grow. Yep, I think that's all the potatoes in this one. Just lots of roots. Lots of roots that grew through the bottom. I'm gonna have to figure out how to solve that. Maybe I'll just grow them in buckets. I know people have done that, growing them in buckets. I'm trying to pull out the whole clump. Woo! Oh, the light kind of, so I show it so you see. So there's still several that are quite small. There's 2 here that are pretty good size. 3, I guess, or at least they're pretty decent. Well, that's good. All right. And again, it looks like there's just a bunch of roots. Oh, I got an ant on me. It's biting me. How rude. How rude. Probably only people around my age know that reference. Michelle from Full House. So my thought is the soil in these is still all good as far as I can tell. So my thought is to plant some regular potatoes, like I have some yellow potatoes that I have been sprouting, or what do you call it? You know, you let the little eyes grow. So we'll plant some of those, I think, in here, because they do better in cold weather, where sweet potatoes do much better in the hot weather. Not so sure about this one. Oh wait, here's one. Okay, well, there's one, that's decent, and then another little tiny one sitting there. So how many bags? We've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is our 6th bag out of 9. I'd definitely say I haven't gotten as many sweet potatoes as I was hoping for so far. But that's why I think doing 2 or 3 in a bag would be much better for next time. But again, here we are, we're learning. This is our education process. This is the education that you are paying for. I'm still continually hearing new people saying, oh, I don't know about doing gardening. It was so much work, put so much time and money into it, and have gotten, some people said they've gotten nothing. some people said they've gotten very little, you know, next to nothing, or at least not what they feel like the time and money. You know, if you spend like $1,000, $2,000 on your garden, and you're like, oh my gosh, we could have gotten like this much. That's a huge root. We could have gotten this much food. We could have bought this much food storage. Then it makes you question, like, oh, is this something we should even do? And I would say that you do need to make sure that your food storage and your pantry is stocked before you really start diving into gardening. If you have a year supply of your food storage, then I think that's when you can start diving into the gardening. And then you have to look at it like you've just gone to the university to learn how to garden. And the money you've put into it is your tuition. And then lucky you, you've gotten some food out of it, hopefully. Okay, we'll see what's in these last three. But the point is, don't give up, because it's so evident that we need to garden. That's why you started in the first place, is because you could see the reasons why we need to garden. And those reasons haven't gone away. They haven't lessened. They have actually only increased. And so don't stop. Make a mental note, or even, hey, take time to write them down so that you can physically see them. But write down or take a mental note of all your successes. Write down and take a mental note of all your failures. And then repeat the successes next year and shelf the failures. And then try something else next year. Okay, let's see what we got in here. Ooh, there's a nice big one. Ooh, it's not huge, not like that other one I showed you, but he's pretty big. Look at that guy. Yeah, that one's good. And a couple other smaller ones. Woohoo! All right, let's see if there's anything else down in here. Sometimes there's a little one that makes its way to the bottom, just hides from you. I'm getting dirty. I am dumping dirt all over myself, but I don't really mind. I don't mind getting dirty. I don't mind getting my hands in there. You know, I'm an artist too. I'm a painter, and this is what my hands look like pretty much most of the time. They're either covered in paint or covered in some kind of stuff outside or something inside. That's just how I roll. All right. We're at the bottom. All right, well, I'll have to go back. But yeah, there's a good size one right there. And that one's pretty good size too. So next year, because we already have our garden space put in that, you know, cost us some money to do, and buying these bags and this dirt and different things, gardening tools, next year it's not going to cost us as much to do the gardening. Well, even now, because we're going to put some stuff in now, it's not going to cost as much. So if you're like, oh, we paid $1,000, $2,000, whatever, or even more, if you don't pay more, you know, to put your garden in, you've got a bunch of stuff already set up, so it's not going to cost you as much. Plus, if you're focusing on seed saving, then that's going to be seeds and plants that you won't have to buy, because they're getting expensive. I did just go buy, bought a couple blueberry bushes. They were on sale. They were like $6 each, which was really good. They were on sale. So you look for those. But then there was also some collard green plants that I bought, and they were almost $6 also, which is really expensive because I think 2 years ago when we planted them before, they were only about $3. So they about doubled in price. And I wouldn't be surprised if that is going to be kind of the norm. Either they're going to stay at that price or they're just going to keep going up. Ooh, that's a thick root. Not really good to eat. I guess maybe you could cook it up. I'm not sure it would taste good though. And it looks like, unfortunately, no other little guys hiding in there. Yep, it's definitely going to be a shower for me right after this. Shower for me. Okay. I don't know. These ones might be kind of little. I was hoping for like a big bang at the end, you know, like the big finish with the monster potato. But I don't think we're going to get that. We got maybe 3 kind of little ones. Yep. 3 kind of little guys. Still going to be edible and yummy though. Alright, so you can see the harvest that we got out of these. They look good, but definitely not what I would have wanted for 9 bags worth of potatoes. But again, we learned a lot and we're going to adjust so that hopefully next year it's even better, and we're just going to go from there and not give up. I think for what I learned, for what we learned, it was a success. Our garden was a success, and next year is going to be even better. And oh, I just have to show you one little thing. So remember I told you about these tomatoes, these 5 tomato plants that were producing nothing for months. I think I've had them for about 4 months. Well, look at this. See that? 1 little tomato, 2 little tomatoes. So it'll focus on it. But yeah, it's like a last little Hail Mary, saying, please, please, don't pull me out. I'll produce something, I promise. Well, after 4 months of sitting around in my garden producing nothing, I probably should have even pulled them out way before now. I'm sorry, little tomatoes, you're heading out. I'm not sure why they decided to produce 2 little tomatoes right now, right at the end, but they're heading out because I've got to have room for other things to go in. So that's it. All right, guys. Well, yeah, I really wanted to let you know where our successes and our failures are, not because of our successes and failures, but just because I know that so many people are struggling with this. The majority of us do not know how to garden, and so we can't get frustrated, we can't get down on ourselves, down on the whole process, and give up and say, well, it wasn't really worth it, it wasn't worth the money, it wasn't worth the time. I promise you it was. Keep going, don't give up, keep marking your successes, marking your failures. Your failures aren't really failures, they're just letting you know where you need to adjust and make changes. And so just keep going, and it's gonna be good. Just keep going, I promise. All right, well, have a good one, and we'll see you next time. Bye.